Hello everyone, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. And I want to quickly say thank you guys so much for the awesome support. We already passed 400 subscribers, which is awesome. And I only have 4 videos on the channel, so thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Today I'm going to be analyzing BlackBerry and GameStop. Today's January 31st, which is Sunday. And then specifically analyzing for tomorrow, February 1st, so that way you guys know what to expect roughly, give or take. I am going to be releasing another video tomorrow morning, pre-market time, so that way it's more accurate. I'm just trying to do it so that way you guys could somewhat guess on what potentially could happen tomorrow. And then also I'm going to be analyzing the Dow Jones in terms of the market overall. And and then consider subscribing if you want to be notified for the video tomorrow. So again, BlackBerry and GameStop. And then just quick disclaimer, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. So please do your own due diligence and own research before buying and selling. Don't buy or sell based off my opinion. Form your own opinion off your own research. And then I do own shares in BlackBerry, been holding for 6 years, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to start with the Dow Jones, and there's a legend on the side. Basically, it's going to say what the colors are. And then just keep in mind, diagonal lines are both support and resistance levels. So I believe tomorrow, so basically we had a support line right here, acting as a support line, right? We back tested it and then we went down. Hopefully this is a false breakout. Now, if it's not a false breakout, basically we're going to head down to $29,839, give or take. Again, these lines are not 100%. For example, this one passed it a little bit, so don't get discouraged if it passes a little bit. It could just be a false breakout. But keep in mind, so here's the support, et cetera. So just to show that it's actually going to be a support line. But don't worry if we do break it, just because we have more support lines. For example, this one that goes from here, support, and then we have another support line here. So it's not a big deal, but for tomorrow, if we do go down, we're going to potentially go down to here, right? And then, but I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting this. So I think this is going to be a false breakout. We're going to go back up and then potentially go to here, which is roughly around the $30,151 mark, and then potentially close around somewhere about the 3,100, or not 3,100, sorry about that, 30,100 mark, give or take. We could potentially come back down too, so that's a potential. So go up and then close around, say, 30,030, give or take, right? Now, if you want to the downside though, basically what could happen, actually what is going to happen. So if you think it's going to go down, right? Let me just get rid of that for a second. If you think it's going to go down, this is how it's going to play out. It's going to go up, back test on the 30,022, so it will pass the 30,000, but then it's going to go down and then just start just pretty much slowly down for the most part, or consolidate here a little bit and then go down and close around the 29,843, or whatever point I said earlier. Let me see, 29,483. It could stagnate a little bit on the 29,910, but I think ultimately it would still go lower than that, because the support level, that's actually, yeah, I don't know, because you see right here, so right here it's support, right here it's not crazy support, but it's support. Here's more it's resistance more than anything, so it's not necessarily support. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to consolidate around that point, around the 29,000. What was it? This one's better, I think. No, it's right here. 29,919. So consolidate around there, basically drew actually, and then go down and close around that. Now for BlackBerry, but I don't think it's going to happen, just FYI. I think most likely it's going to go up, become a false breakout, and close around roughly what I stated earlier. Now for BlackBerry, it's different. Just quick thing though, my apologies for the other day when I posted the video on Friday. Now I did okay, so basically I did not show the downward trend line. I missed that in the video. So basically I did post up on the video comments down below and pin it about an hour or an hour and a half before it, stating that at roughly 1 p.m. Eastern time, there's a downward trend line that's going to meet up. It's either going to potentially go down or basically continue. Now, if it continues, awesome. It's going to go up on basically what I stated, et cetera, in that video. But it didn't pass it, unfortunately. So let me just do this because the line is not that clean. The reason why it's not 100% clean is because if I change the date to it gets adjusted. But you'll get the idea. It did pass the downward trend line in after hours, which is not the greatest, but whatever. It is what it is. But nonetheless, it did pass it, and it's banking off the support line. So back tested, or not back tested, but it bounced off the downward trend line, give or take. and then it's continuing on the support line. So right about here, it continues, but whatever. And so I think most likely what's going to happen is, let me move this right here for a sec, or actually right here. Okay, so I think what's going to most likely happen for tomorrow, because of the Wall Street bets, like seeing it's undervalued and all that stuff and backing it up. And then just FYI, the original two stocks for Wall Street bets was GameStop and BlackBerry. The reason why I'm mentioning that, before all the other stocks got added, the original game plan was for, from what I've been reading and all that stuff, is for GameStop. People were going to get into GameStop because of short squeeze play. BlackBerry is not a short squeeze play; it's a value play. And after they get profits from the short squeeze play from GameStop, they were going to dump it into BlackBerry because it's undervalued, et cetera, et cetera. It still seems to hold true right now, even though other stocks got added to the list. For example, AMC. I don't own positions in AMC, so just in case if you're wondering, I'm mentioning it. I'm not mentioning it because I own positions, just because it's a short squeeze play also from what it looks like. I didn't look into it too much, so again, do your own research to look into it, et cetera, et cetera. But it seems like it's still to hold true from what everybody's still mentioning. Again, do your own research, et cetera, et cetera. Look up on the comments. But it seems like they're going to still try to do short squeeze plays and then get into BlackBerry potentially, if that's what they continue to do as a value play. So given that, I think because people still see it as a value play, people are trying to get in still, and the Wall Street bets for tomorrow, I think what's going to happen is basically it's going to ride up onto here and then open roughly around, not necessarily 398, but I think it's going to open around $14.20, and then basically go up here past the moving day averages around the $15 mark, give or take. Maybe, I don't know where they're going to meet, but I'm thinking around $15 mark. Come up to here where it's a resistance/support line at the 1635, and then potentially, to be honest, I think it's going to fluctuate back and forth and close around here. That's what I think most likely is going to happen. But if you are optimistic by a lot, then what's going to happen is consolidate here, go up to $18, and I think still close at the end of the day $16.39. But if you really want to be optimistic, you could say it's going to close at the $18 mark, $18.02, 18 something, right? And the reason why I'm not more optimistic than that is because, for example, what's going to happen is it's going to have to like ride up, consolidate, or actually not even consolidate. Forget this consolidation. It's going to have to shoot up to 16.30 and then consolidate around here for a little bit, go up here. By midday, it has to be $18. If it's not $18 by like midday or 1 p.m., it's gonna that's not gonna happen then. But if it does happen, then you could have your optimistic viewpoint where you're like, okay, it's gonna be at the $20 mark, which I should have probably drew a resistance line there, but it's gonna be at the $20 mark. Consolidate there, right about here, consolidate, and then shoot up to the $21 mark, and I think that's the utmost max, or slightly hit it and then come back down to the $20 mark and close at $20 mark. The reason why I'm not mentioning this one right now, 23.24, is because this resistance line, okay, so this resistance line dates back to 2001, right? And if you saw my previous videos, I showed that. It dates back, or no, sorry about that, not 2001, dates back to the dot-com bubble, so the 2000s, right? Or 2000. And then this resistance line, 28.29, dates back from the 2004, 2005. And this also, by the way, hits in 2004, 2005 as a resistance level. I'll just show it right now, actually. So dot-com bubble right here, 23.24. .com 2004, 2005, and then 29 is 2004, 2005, give or take, right? So I was shocked that we blew past them really quickly, but either way, nonetheless, I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow, because what's happening is a lot of people are moving their funds from Robinhood to like other trading platforms. So tomorrow, I don't expect to see fireworks for BlackBerry or let alone GameStop, right? GameStop, I'm really optimistic for tomorrow, because a lot of, if you've been looking at Wall Street bets, the hype is crazy for GameStop, crazy. So I'm going to show that, but I'm going to show the downside for BlackBerry. Now, if you're not optimistic, what's going to happen is it's going to basically, for the most part, open between between 1384 and 1337, right? Open around there, and I think basically bounce back. If it stays here for too long, what's going to happen is essentially it's going to go up. And I think it would go up to not that high, around $15. But since you're not optimistic, and if it does that anyway, even if you're not optimistic or neutral, I think it would go up to $15 most likely. But if you're not, or $14.50 probably to be exact. But if you're not, it essentially is going to go down. And if it goes down, it's going to go down to the $12.32, right? Now, if you're extremely not optimistic, I've seen it where it passes a downward trend line and it hovers there for the most part, bounces, whatever. And then it's going to open at $12 and like whatever, 30 cents, 40 cents. But it cannot consolidate here for too long, because if it consolidates here for too long and does not go up, right, and to 13, which would be awesome because it would count as support / resistance, and I can see it just climbing up to a 13 and just hovering around 13, closing at 13, it's most likely going to basically go down, and you're like, ooh, that's not good, right? I don't see that happening, to be honest, but if it does, these are levels it's going to hit. You're looking at, for the most part, like 1140, 1130 kind of thing. If it goes even lower, you're looking at 1023. Next one is 990. I think most likely that one's 995 if I remember from back in the day, because there was a support level at 995 / resistance, but 990. And then if you want to get crazy, it's like 918, 957. It's just going to keep breaking down. But I think the utmost lowest, if you were completely negative in terms of like viewpoint of like thinking it's going to go down, 918 would be the utmost lowest, and it just bounced back up. The reason why I'm kind of like optimistic, besides being like owning shares in BlackBerry, obviously I could be biased, is because BlackBerry is extremely oversold right now, and its short positions have increased. From December 31st, it was 7%. January 15th, it went up to 9%. So I'm assuming it went up way more because given the run. So there's that. Now, at the same time, BlackBerry's not a short squeeze play, it's a value play. But I'm pretty optimistic. That's what's going to happen is this, like I stated earlier. Go here, close. If it closes here, perfect, because it's going to create a good, if it closes positive in the upside, pretty good, it's going to create an upward trend. I used the wrong color, but it doesn't matter, which would create like a U-shape / V-shape recovery, which would be awesome. I can kind of see that for the most part. I'm pretty optimistic for that, to be honest. But again, don't base it off of what I say. Do your own research, because I could clearly be biased for this one extremely. Now for GameStop, it's going to be crazy. I think the support is awesome in terms of like what's going to happen is it's going to be crazy kind of stuff. I don't think necessarily you're going to see fireworks tomorrow, again, because people are transferring their funds from Robinhood, and a lot of people are saying there's delays and all that stuff. And like Robinhood's not necessarily blocking people, but it's not making it easy because some information is getting, like, for example, not viewable or something. But they're still able to transfer funds, so it's not a block or anything. But people are saying wait times are long for other platforms while they're trying to transfer. So because of that, I don't think fireworks are going to happen for tomorrow. I think if you're banking on fireworks are going to happen the next day, so the next trading day, February 2nd. But essentially what's going to happen is two things. I'm thinking two things for the upside, and then downside I'm going to show the other stuff. So essentially what's going to happen is going to go up here. Then I think it's going to consolidate around, it's going to ride up on the upside, but then pre-market it's going to consolidate to the 345, 350 mark. So I think 349 it's going to open potentially tomorrow. And if it does, it's going to go up, and basically 371, I think it's going to go past that. 404, let me see. Maybe it wasn't 404. Was it 404? I guess. I don't know. But I think essentially could hit, what was it? This level? Yeah, it was this level. 415. I think essentially it's going to hit 415 and then come back down here 400, consolidate for a short, brief time, and then come back down to 370. And I think it's going to close on the 370 mark. And this is a little bit compressed. I would stretch it out a little bit where it's like this and then that, stuff like that, right? That's what I think most likely is going to happen. If you are completely optimistic and you think it's going to go catabolic tomorrow, then what's going to happen is it's going to ride up onto here. Pre-market open at 405, give or take. Shoot up to 560, I think, because I've noticed from times if it creates a new high, it goes up like $100, which is crazy. Come back down dramatically, break through this resistance / support. I think it's going to break through this support too. And then come back down here, 425. And I think most likely if it does that on that kind of movement, either it's going to close at 425 or you're looking at closing at, like, it's going to consolidate, like stay here for a while and then close at like the 402, 403. But that's for the upsides. Now for the downsides, if you're not thinking that, it's going to hover around here. Basically, I'm thinking it's going to open at the 325 mark still, give or take. 325, and then go up here, consolidate at the 350, and then potentially go up to 371, and then come back down 350, and then close. I think it's going to close at 350 even if you're negative. But if you're thinking, okay, forget all those, what are the resistance levels or support levels? So we're looking at support level at 302, support level at 257-ish, give or take, 259, whatever. And then this is the major one. So I don't think necessarily it's going to go lower. But if it comes down here, this is a pretty bad sign because now you have a support line from here to here to here going up. And then you have the downward trend line, and it's going to come back riding down the downward trend line. But basically, essentially, 209. I don't think it's going to go lower than 204. But if you want to get not dangerous, but like bank on it going lower, then you're looking at 130 again. And if you want to go even crazier than that, you're banking on essentially the $79, $80 mark. But I don't think any of those are play. I think we've pretty much got good support. This was pretty much shown right here. The reason why this one passed the line though is because it was a major drop. It was way oversold, right? So that happens, false breakout, not a big deal. So at the utmost lowest, I think would be 200 if you're completely negative in terms of how it's going to play out tomorrow, right? So there's that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If you guys did like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks in advance. Really helps the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. And then if you want to be notified when I do upload the video for tomorrow morning or other videos in terms of evaluating Dow Jones, BlackBerry, what happened on January 28th, why it's important, et cetera, and how it's going to add fuel to the fire moving to the future, consider subscribing for that. And I'll be posting for stock videos, financial freedom, and wealthy mindset. But thanks again for awesome support. Thanks for helping me pass 400 subscribers. We only have 4 videos on the channel so far. This will be the 5th, and we've only had it for 7 days in terms of the first video. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.